So I did a video on EGR systems and DEF systems and DPFs and all the stuff that goes with it, and that generated a very veritable storm of commentary, right? Saying, oh my goodness, yes, we're having this issue and that issue, and no maintenance is going to prevent you from having EGR cooler failures, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, lions and tigers and bears, oh my, and why is my million-mile motor not having carbon buildup, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Guys, understand how this works. Understand how this works. So you've got a situation where if you've got a vehicle like the presidential limo, for example, which I just have to think is idling and idling and idling and idling. And so when a motor's idling, it's not staying at operating temperature. It isn't. What the presidential limo would benefit from is one of these bad boys. What it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and it's going to kick in with its little clutch and keep that engine at operating temperature. And if they had that, they wouldn't have to worry about their EGR system getting all kind of goobered up. The reason why you've got a guy with, 400,000 miles, 1 million miles on his truck and it's not carboned up is because he's using the truck as a truck. People get themselves in trouble when they don't use their truck as a truck. If you're going to the local grocery store and picking up a pound of hamburger, or you're, picking up, insulation and throwing it in the back bed of your truck that, stuff that doesn't weigh anything, you're not asking your engine to work. If you're coming to the job site and you're idling, just leaving the AC running, leaving the heat going, that engine's not working. And as a result, you're going to have the carbon buildup, you're going to have the EGR failures, you're going to have the DPF systems getting all kind of goobered up and clogged, you're going to be going in a regen all the time, your SCR system's going to need treatment, all this kind of stuff. So the guys that can go ahead and with regularity, and the vast majority of their use is indeed working the crap out of their trucks, right? They got the heavy trailer, they're pulling max weight, they're just, making this machine do its job. A happy diesel is a working diesel. And if you're not working your diesel, you're not creating a happy diesel. So the people, every diesel would benefit from this, right? Because what happens is, you go ahead and you idle the truck just one time, and obviously you got some crap building up in your DPF system, right? Well, crud. Is that avoidable? Well, yeah, if you just kept it at operating temperature, it totally is avoidable. And a high idle mod is only going to get you so far. So this device will go ahead and put that extra load on the motor to keep it running hot, to prevent that stuff from ever building up. And so that's the benefit. Anything you can do to prevent from building up. Now, as far as the internals of the engine on an already deleted truck, no, there's no filter to get goobered up. There's no EGR system to get clogged up. And so therefore, you're not having the problem with periodically going ahead and idling it excessively or whatever. But if you're idling excessively on the daily, like a presidential limo would do, then yes, you're going to have problems with an emissions control system. Of course you are. But if that's not you, and it's either deleted or it's older, so it doesn't have these systems at all, you're obviously you're not going to have huge problems. But the carbon buildup will still be a thing until you go ahead and you burn it off. So when you drive the truck and you're putting in their load, you'll burn all that crap off again, but you're not burning the stuff out of your DPF. That's just not how that works. And the same thing with your SCR system, which is why you need to go into regen some of that. Now, to the purists who say, well, some of that DPF stuff's going to get burned off, you're not wrong. It's just that it would be better if you never got it there at all. So keep your truck, you get your truck to full operating temperature as soon as you possibly can. Keep it there as soon as you possibly can, or on the continual, whatever those words are, and you won't have a problem. This is one device to get there. Another way to get there would be to go ahead and just use your truck and use it every day as a truck, and then you don't need to buy something like this. Unless you want to have warm tootsies in the winter, and you start the truck and then 2 minutes later you're at operating temperature. 2 minutes later you get heat out of the vents, and 6 minutes later you're at operating temperature, and that's just better for you. So I hope this helps clear some stuff up. There's a lot of pieces and parts to this. So, if this system here was free, but it's not, yeah, every single diesel, why wouldn't you want this? But because it is more than 5 nickels, it's a year mileage will vary kind of conversation. And how much do you want to have how much do you not want to have this problem ever? Because your DPF it's got a given service life than all it is, and you can get a sense for how bad your problem is based upon how often you're going into regen. So if you're going into regen all the time, it's a matter of time until the regen's just not going to work for you anymore. And so if you want to avoid the ultimate long expense a way to do it is to buy this system and move on. If you delete the truck, please don't think you're avoiding the problem entirely. That's just not the case. You still have carbon buildup and all of that, and whatnots. Okay, so FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together. If you have questions, comments, thoughts, whatever, keep them coming. Our goal is to keep your trucks on the road, not off to the side of it. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together.